Graphing Applications Worksheet Problem Number 1. As a fundraiser, a school club is selling bracelets. The manufacturer charges a $25 setup fee plus 50 cents for each bracelet. When we first look at a word problem, it's important to not put undue pressure on ourselves to immediately go to being able to write an equation or find the answer or anything like that. Allow yourself time to read through the problem several times, maybe setting up some kind of a picture as you go. Okay, so imagine you really are selling bracelets as a fundraiser. So we're at the school, we have to get them from the manufacturer. So when you put in your order and you design the bracelet, they're charging for that process. So it costs $25 for them to take what you're sending them and get their machine set up to punch them out like that. So that just is a flat fee, like no matter what, $25 one-time fee. And then, depending on how many bracelets you want, you're going to have to pay 50 cents for each one. Okay, so if we were to write a linear equation for the cost y in dollars, so what that phrase is telling you is just you're going to have a y variable and it needs to represent dollars. And then, of course, to make X bracelets, the X value has to represent bracelets. So if you were to write out several points, like, okay, let's say we order one bracelet, then that would be a 1 for the X value. How much, what would the cost in Y dollars be? Well, it's $25 to set it up and then 50 cents for that one bracelet. So 1 point on this line could be 1, comma, 25.50. Okay, now that's not what this problem was asking us to do just yet, but it's not a waste of time to do something like this, to really think through the problem. When you're asked to write a linear equation, if it doesn't specify it, then what it's referring to is asking for slope-intercept form. Okay, there's other forms of an equation. This is the typical one. Okay, so to be charged an initial one-time only setup fee is going to correspond to the y-intercept, and then something that changes is like the slope. Okay, so it depends on how many bracelets we sell. I'm sorry, how many bracelets are purchased. So 50 cents per bracelet. So 50 cents times X. X represents number of bracelets, so that would make sense for those to be multiplied to each other, plus $25 for the setup fee. So there's our linear equation. Okay, moving on. Use this equation from part A to determine the cost of making 70 bracelets. So we already determined the cost of one bracelet by plugging in 1 for X. Okay, so we're going to plug in 70 for X, only X. If you plug it in, Y represents dollars, X represents bracelets. Okay, we substitute using parentheses. So with y equaling 60, that's saying it costs $60 to make 70 bracelets. So you're going to be taking the time to really state your answers here, because that's going to force you to really understand and process the full extent of the problem. Okay, last question. Find the number of bracelets made if the manufacturer charged the club for costs of $175. So this is saying the total cost that we paid to the manufacturer was $175. So how many bracelets was that? So if you're solving for the number of bracelets, you're looking for X and you're substituting for Y this time. Okay, so we're going to take 175 and substitute it in for y. I'm going to subtract 25 on both sides. Okay, so we get x equals 300. Be sure to really interpret what does that mean, since x represents number of bracelets. If we spent $175, then that meant we purchased 300 bracelets.